Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Susan Lynn. I'm a psychic and a medium, and today we're going to be talking about your questions that you submitted for my political spirit guides to answer. If you're new here, thanks for joining. Please hit the subscribe button while you're getting ready, getting in your seat, getting your popcorn out. Maybe you got a big drink or, some candy or something, because I'm telling you guys, this is about to be on, okay? Like this is some stuff is going down. So let's get busy. First of all, I want to do the psychic news you can use. Okay, so my spirit guides have been kind of ticker tape rolling some potential news through my claircognizance, which is psychic knowing. And I want to share it with you. So first off, we have some campaign finance charges. Now, this is a wide net. They're telling me it's going to start with one fish, and it could even be Santos. I know he's out. By the way, all of your psychic BFFs told you Santos would be out. You guys didn't believe us. He's gone. Okay. One more mark on the wall for spirit guides. Okay. Start to believe that this stuff is happening. If one of us tells you something, sure, put it in the maybe we'll see column. But when we all tell you something, it's just a matter of now we wait. Okay. So campaign finance charges. This is a big deal because apparently the Republicans and some Democrats have been playing loosey-goosey with their campaign money. And this has gotten to be what the guides are showing me right now is there was honestly some bad advice given. It could have been from these higher ups in the Senate and in the House that said, whose aides said, yeah, this guy does that. Sure, do it. And there were a lot of freshmen. There were a lot of new, this is not like last year, but I'm saying, when was it recently that we had like an incoming large class of freshmen, especially in the House? They don't know what's going on. They don't seek their own I don't even know what they were trying to say, their own advice. They just follow the school of fish. So they all started doing it the same way everybody else did it. The spirit guides have talked about this in the sense that there's going to be people that are going to be caught out or caught with doing some things they shouldn't have been doing simply because if you don't do it, you lose. If you don't operate this way, then you're not going to win because everybody else is playing the game this way. And then they're going to find out, oops, this was illegal. At the very best, it's going to cost me censure in my, House or Senate or the Congress. It's going to cost me my seat or maybe even have some jail time. So I'm talking, I'm not getting, they got to do a little bit better about this. I need a clearer connection. We're talking corruption. They're saying corruption, but I was going for this word that was, let's just call it corruption for right now. And so eventually this is actually going to make its way up to Trump. This is something definitely that's going to impact Trump. Now, one of 100 charges, right? We go back to those 100 archers. If you're a longtime watcher, a year and a half ago, the guide said there will be 100 archers, 100 arrows pointed at Trump. 95 are going to miss. This was their way of telling us not all this stuff was going to stick, to get used to the idea that he's going to get away with 95 things or 95% of the things. But 4%, the remaining 4 are going to stick, are going to take him out. This is just another option. It's just another pile on, but it has legs. I just want to tell you, this is important. This campaign finance corruption charges is a big deal. It seems to be, it could be a RICO act. They're saying to me, this could be a RICO act because there does seem to be a connection. They all had a connecting person or a connecting reason. That's what RICO is. One connection that connects everybody. In Georgia specifically, because Georgia has a very broad RICO law. That's why Fonnie Willis is ground zero. That's why Fonnie Willis is going to be one of the main ones to bring down Trump. And he knows it. It can connect people that would surprise you. Let's just put it that way. It can connect people to a crime that you would be surprised about. How did they get connected to that crime? It's RICO, baby. It was designed to bring down mob bosses so that you could bring down not just the mob boss, but everybody. Because if you didn't, the mob boss was making witnesses, maybe even co-defendants, disappear. Isn't this where we are now? This is why RICO is going to work so well against Trump. So keep your eye posted. I don't think that's the right combination of words, but anyway, keep your eye. They're like, peeled is better. I don't know why we say keep our eyes peeled. I mean, like peel them. I mean, where did that come from? I don't know. So they're like, keep your eyes posted. And I asked them and they're like, peeled is any better than posted? All right. Look, it's early in the morning. Give me a break. Okay. Keep your eyes posted for campaign finance, because when you see campaign finance in the news, this is the tip of the iceberg. This is the beginning of the avalanche. That's what the guides want to say. And the avalanche is going to take out quite a few people. And I'm going to talk about this in a different video, because I'm putting the pieces together of all the visions that they've sent me, or all the knowings, or whatever you want to call it. And I've been trying to figure out the timeline, right? I've been trying to figure out, how is this all going to work? Like, for instance, right, they're saying George Santos was booted. We knew he was going to get booted, but we couldn't figure out how he was going to get booted, right? A month ago, this wouldn't have been possible. Well, heck, 2 weeks ago, it wasn't possible. So now it is possible. So it's interesting to me that these things happen, and we can't, for the life of us, figure out how it's going to happen. And I think that's what the lesson is. Humans have faith. Humans have faith, have trust. When you know you need a miracle, when you know you need something good to happen, just have faith that it's going to happen. Leave the how up to your spirit guides, up to God, up to whatever it is that is the higher power for you. Okay. So that's fascinating to me. Actually, it's a really good reminder about trust and faith. So I'll talk about the timelines later. I'm still trying. They're coming together, but in the most bizarre way that I never saw coming, which gets back to what we just talked about. So the next thing I want to talk about, this is connected to the campaign finance reform. I got this picture of dirty water. I mean, really dirty water. Now, I want to say this isn't swamp water, because I got brought up short by the spirit guides this morning about swamp water. Swamp is organically filtrated bio sediment that is very helpful for the planet. I mean, okay, I'm sorry I said swamp water in relation to Trump. I take it back. My bad. Second demerit in 10 minutes. I'm doing great this morning, by the way. Okay, so dirty water. You want to know what they call it? Effluent. Would you like to take a moment and Google the word effluent? No, never mind. I'll help you. It's caca water. It's poo-poo water. It's sewer water. So here we are. If you're a longtime watcher, I don't know how many videos ago, remember when they kept saying everything was poo-poo? It was everything. It was like the theme of the whole video was caca. Well, I hope they don't do that again. But this is where we are, and it makes sense. Let me tell you, the poo-poo water, the effluent, the reason they wanted to talk about that, and I think this is related to campaign finance in some way, is that in this brown water that I'm seeing, there's Jack Smith. Jack Smith is in the water. But I can see Jack Smith clearly. He's clean. It's as if you took a picture of some caca water, and then you cut out a picture of Jack Smith and you put it on top of it. He's not in the water. He's not being affected by the water. He's not, he seems to be perfectly fine. And he's sitting. He's not standing. He's sitting. It's a cross between a desk and a throne. He's sitting at a desk throne kind of thing, but I see him profile. He's from his profile. He's not affected by this. So then I asked them more about this, and I said, what gives with this caca water and with Jack Smith? And they gave me some, and I'm trying to read this from my phone, which continues to go to sleep like it's early in the morning or something. They keep telling me things like this, smear campaign. So it's a smear campaign on Jack Smith. He's not affected. Number one, it doesn't get on him. None of this gets on him. He's completely pristine. It's like he just got his clothes out of the cleaner. Also, the other thing is, this brown water is brown. It's monochromatic. So it's brown, but he's in 3D living color. So he's crisping living color. He's not tainted by this. Okay, number one. Number two, some information that might be useful for you, useful for me. Who knows? I doubt it because I don't find this useful. I mean, anyway, it doesn't matter. Obfuscation, confusion, fog. This brown water also equates to, on a different level, meaning not on the Trump Jack Smith axis, but throughout the rest of the world, fog. This when you're flying through fog in an airplane and you can't see anything, when you're driving through fog and you can't see anything, your view is obstructed. You might have a sense of not understanding reality. You might have a sense of feeling confused, of not understanding your place in your own reality. All of a sudden, I'm lost, dazed, and confused. Okay. So this is also a double whammy message in the sense that whatever this energy is that's obfuscating Jack Smith, not Jack Smith, but whatever Jack Smith is in the middle of, it actually is obfuscating us. It's fogging up our rear view mirror. We can't see. Our windshield is fogged up. Okay. That's important for us. What they would say about that is, what do you do when your windshield is fogged up? What do you do when you can't see clearly because of fog or whatever it is? Darkness. I mean, whatever it is, you stop or you slow down. You slow down or you stop. So their advice to you is, if you're in a situation, and this is kind of, they're giving me chills on this. This is sort of in the whole month of December. For some of you, it has a lot to do with, what do you call that? Your astrological sign, your numerology. It has a lot to do with that. But no matter who you are, you're going to have this in your life, they're saying, but to varying degrees. Okay. So if you find that there's a situation that you're like, I don't know what's going on, or I'm not sure I'm seeing this clearly. That will be the key. If you say that to yourself, I'm not sure I'm seeing this clearly, or I can't figure this out, that's a clue to you. You're in this energy. Stop. Don't blunder into it. Don't just go head first into it, thinking you know your way, thinking you've done this so many times that you just know your way. You do not know your way. The path is turning. The future is not what you think it is. This is the fog. This is why they're trying to slow you down. Okay. Stop, slow down, wait. Stop, slow down, wait. You will be given information. You will see, like, I don't know, it might be days even. It might be hours. It might be days. It might be a week or two for some of us. But you'll know because you'll have more energy. You'll have clarity. You'll be able to see things clearly, and you'll be able to understand what you need to do. Okay. If you cannot wait, you're like, Susan, I can't wait. I got to do something right now. Whatever. I've got a contract I'm going to sign, whatever that is. Trust your gut. They're saying, trust your gut. If you've got something you need to sign and come on, you guys, we got to get better about this. We've got to be better about trusting this as much as we trust this. So if you are like, oh, I don't know, I feel not good. I don't feel like I should do this. I'm not sure what's going on. I don't feel right. Can you postpone it? Try to postpone it, or go find a friend who's seeing clearly. Even get an expert, get a second opinion. Okay. You need to be very careful. All right. Now, if you're saying I can see clearly, I don't have this, then you don't have it. Okay. I'm not trying to trip you out and say you do have it. If you're like, no, I'm good. I'm seeing clearly. That's fine. Number one, maybe it doesn't affect you. Number two, maybe it hasn't affected you yet. Okay. Just put that in your pocket. And I don't want you to freak out about anything, you guys. I don't tell you things to freak you out. I'm a Virgo. I tell you things to save you trouble, to help you. So you just put it in your pocket. You just put it to the side. You don't worry about it. Don't do that part of the Virgo thing. Put it to the side. Very quickly on Biden's dogs. President Biden's dogs, Champ and Major. I can't believe they gave me the names. You know, they've been biting. They've been biting Secret Service people. I don't think they've bitten a chef or, anybody that would be maintenance. I think they just bite Secret Service people. I think that's interesting, don't you? So anyway, Biden's dogs are going to be back in the news. This could be this week, but it kind of depends on when the news picks it up, okay? Because Biden's dogs need to be there. He needs a dog there, and they're for his protection. Make no mistake. Those dogs were trained for protection. They're there for protection. And if he gets a new dog, it's there for protection. I want to say the last German Shepherd is also at a friend's house, but I don't know that for sure. I'm just telling you, a dog with Biden is going to come back in to focus again. He could get like a golden retriever. And I'm telling you, this golden retriever will rip your arm off. Dogs back in Biden's news again. And there's also a reason for that. I always tell you guys, whatever the spirit guides say to you, flip it around and see what the other side of it is. If they're saying dogs are going to be back in Biden's energy and those dogs are for protection, then you can deduce Biden feels like he needs protection. I'm not saying anything bad's going to happen to him. I'm saying that he doesn't want someone to do another little drop of a bag with some white powder in it again. His private area has to be maintained because they will sandbag him. They will set him up. And if he's got a chihuahua that'll chew your ankles off, then guess what? He's protected. I mean, I'm telling you, I don't know what this man is going to do. He's a dog lover. What can I say? And we all know chihuahuas. I know chihuahuas. No offense to chihuahua lovers. I love chihuahuas as long as they love me. And I'm not talking about with salt. Okay, let's move on. The next thing is Obama will be in the news. He's having a procedure done. This is an outpatient procedure. The Republicans will go crazy with some kind of conspiracy theory. It's not a conspiracy theory. He's not on his deathbed. It's a freaking outpatient thing. It's not a problem. We may or may not hear about it. It depends on the news. You guys know what our news is like. Shite. It's for shite, right? It's not very good. Okay, now here's the big deal. Here's the big deal. This is for real. This got me out of bed because all this happened when I was laying in bed. I'm like, oh, let me get my phone out, take some notes. I had to get out of bed at this one. Republicans realizing that they lost the battle and the war. The battle and the war. Flynn and Stone try to manage an uprising. This is what I wrote. False flag to rile up their base. Flops. Cracks me up. Okay, it goes on. Trump scared. This could be a one-act play. Sorry, that cracked me up. Someone thinks it's a good idea to fake kidnap him or to fake attack him without telling him. Are y'all for real with me? Are y'all for real? Okay, so it's more real. Causes, all caps, real situation. They say he is a terrible actor and won't pull it off, meaning they couldn't let him in on this because he'll overdo it. It won't be, they needed this to be as real as they could in his mind. Okay. Now, because it's as real as it is in his mind, apparently it's as real as it could be in the Secret Service's mind, because the next thing I wrote, he is not protected well. A situation arises. Plot thickens. The outcome. I wrote outcome. Here's the next bolus of information. The next information is scares Trump, proves to would-be kidnappers that he is a valuable target worth considering for ransom. Also, Republicans thrilled, all caps. The rest of us yawn, all caps. Allegations arise against Fani Willis and all caps deep state. Then they go to Jack and then Hunter. And then I wrote parenthetically muddy water. Now, you guys, let me just say, this is what they're planning. This is energy. I would also say to you that I've done many videos where I've said, the guides have said that there would be a situation like, think about universe having 10 choices. If you might want to think about it like that, even in your personal life, there's 10 ways this can go, 10 different ways this can go. Okay. One of the ways is that I saw was that Trump goes to Jack Smith and says, you got to protect me. You got to protect me. I've got, they're out for me. I can't trust the Secret Service. I've got information. You got to, I mean, he's literally like talking fast and freaking out. Okay. For real. This is the problem. He's such a BSer that, and I'm not saying calls Jack Smith directly. I'm saying he calls somebody in Jack Smith's office, and Jack Smith's office is like, right. Can you put your nanny on the phone so I can talk to her about your mental health? And he's like, I'm serious. They're coming to get me. Right. So I've seen this before. This is something the guides have showed me as one of the possibilities of how Trump ends up in sort of a witness protection program, or in a Gitmo, or in a contained building. Do you see what I'm saying to you? How did they get rid of Santos? We didn't know how. It just happened. How did Tucker Carlson disappear? Right? Spirit will solve these problems in any way they can. They have 10 options here. So one way is that Trump, they just showed me a picture of Trump jumping out of the muddy water into the net of his own volition. This is possible. Because if you rewind the tape a little bit and you think about Flynn and Stone, and this is for entertainment purposes only, and allegedly, if you think about them, how this, okay, I left out the part about, because it was a lot, y'all. I couldn't write all this down. So when they were talking about Republicans have lost the battle and the war. Okay, what they showed me, I can't believe I left this out. And they told me this. They preloaded it before I did the video and I still forgot it. Anyway, that's why I have them to keep me on the right track. When I was saying that, when they were telling me that, they talked about a false flag. I don't know. Maybe I said that. Maybe I didn't. They talked about a false flag. And I was asking them, where would there be a false flag? You know, like where? And my human thing was, it probably would be somewhere outside of the contiguous, like it would be like in Puerto Rico, or it would be in Hawaii. And so I said, what about Puerto Rico? And they said, no, they don't even think Puerto Rico is part of the United States. And then I said, what about Hawaii? And they were like, they don't think Hawaii's part of the United States. They just see the little drawing, the little puzzle they did when they were 3 years old to put the states, that's all they really believe is the United States. Then I started asking them, well, come on, tell me, would it be, they said it would have to be a red state. I said, okay, a red state. So then I started going through the red states and they were like, no, that red state has too many Democratic governor or Democratic mayors that would squash it. I mean, it wouldn't work. A false flag wouldn't work in that state. So this is how I got to Florida and Trump. I was going through all the states. The guide said, no, you're missing the point. I'm like, of course I am, because I have no idea what you're talking about. If you just tell me what you're talking about instead of this wild goose chase, I could probably just figure this out. They said missing the point in the sense that nobody cares about Montana. I'm sorry, Montana. I love you. I love your state. It's absolutely beautiful. I love everything about it. However, they said Florida. And then I was like, Florida? And they were like, Florida? And we were like, Florida. So that's when they showed me Trump. So that's how we got here. That's how we got to this Trump is kidnapped thing. Now, listen, because this wins votes. This false flags win votes, or wars win votes for Republicans. Attacks win wars for Republicans. C. G.W. Bush, the second term. This is a real thing. This is a real playbook. This is a Republican playbook. And again, it would be Flynn and Stone because they're outside of the establishment. Flynn and Stone can keep their communications very secure. If you go telling McConnell or, anybody in the Republicans, their aides are going to know about it, then it's not going to be a secure thing. That they just said the element of surprise. We must have the element of surprise. So stay tuned in Florida. It can happen in any way. It could be breach at Mar-a-Lago, news at 10. It could be something like that. Or it could be robbery attack at Mar-a-Lago. Or it could be drone spotted over Mar-a-Lago. Or it could be something even more sinister than that. But you got the backstory. You understand what's happening. But I will say there's energy now, because now that somehow the word is out that he's a high value person worth kidnapping. Just put that away on the side, like your fog advice, and know if this mofo gets kidnapped, I am not contributing to the GoFundMe. That's all I got to say. Now let's move on to your question. Okay, so let's get to your questions. And by the way, you're still watching, hit the subscribe button and check out www.susanlynnmedium.com for events, classes, readings, all that good stuff. So Linda Walker says, would you ask your guides what they see for the state of the economy in 2024? So it's interesting, Linda. Outcome is good. The economy is good. The word they're using, honestly, is roaring. Now, when you have a roaring economy, you have to worry about inflation. But I believe that we're in a better position in 2024 not have high inflation. Okay. I mean, this inflation is really truly about corporations price gouging. I mean, this has been proven. And I think that Biden is doing everything he can to bring this to the public's attention and to, sort of public shame these companies into not doing that. So I think the economy is roaring. I see even more announcements of factories or industrial good jobs. It's good. The economy looks good. Now, there are patches of struggle, problems. It's not going to be it's not going to be a straight line all the way up the whole year. There's going to be ups and downs, but at the end of the year, it will have been a good economy. This is what's really going to help Biden sail to that next presidency. So I see it being good for the most part. And green, I don't know if that's green for money or green for green economy, but they're saying green. And evergreen. And evergreen means something that's always giving back. So something that is constantly growing. So it looks good. So thanks for your question. Michael Smith says, will a Democrat win the special election in New York's 3rd district? Code word for Santos's old district. Okay. So here's the thing, you guys, and this is why, we had to come up with 1-800-Spirit Guides, press 1 for complaints, because I see red. Right now, I see red. Now, you might be thinking, no way, they wouldn't go red because they have Santos, who is such a train wreck. You guys, you need to use your own intuition when you're hearing all these people say, it's going to go blue, it's going to go blue. Right now, he just left office. This is my video, he just left office. Right now, the people it's this weird energy where they vote in people that are very authoritarian, that are very rule abiding, and also this law. They do that because they want guardrail. They want to feel safe. So they keep voting for these Republicans who are like, I'll make you safe. I'll take away every possible thing that could ever hurt you. If you think that this, tree is going to hurt you, I'll cut it down. You know what I mean? What they're doing is voting away their own rights. They don't understand that for them to have rights, everybody else has to have rights too. When you vote for someone else's rights to be removed, yours are next. However, this is what I see for the 3rd district is we want someone who won't embarrass us. That's what they want. They want someone who is so serious, so focused. You know what I mean? That's what they want. They've been embarrassed. So in their minds, they see Democrats as being too liberal, as being too loosey-goosey. We want somebody who's going to come in there and be serious, take it seriously. So they may go for a conservative Republican. I'm not kidding you. I'm telling you what I'm getting. Now, if a Democrat presents themselves who seems very grounded, who seems more moderate, very moderate, lending towards slightly conservative, that person might work, but they've got egg on their face. They're not likely to vote for someone who isn't very, very serious and has serious take on everything. That's what they want. Right now, I feel like it might go red. Let me move on. Blanche says, I hope that's your name, Blanche. There's a whole lot of letters after that make no sense to me. Maybe it's French. That would make sense. Okay, will Michael Cohen run for office and will he be pardoned? So for the first part of your question, yes, I think he will run for office. I think there are some offices in which he can run for. I don't know what they are. Maybe they're dog catcher. I don't know. But there is an office somewhere that this man can run for, having been a felon. But that's what they're telling me. He will try to run for some office. Now, will he be pardoned? The answer is no. Not shocked, but I don't know. I was surprised by this because Biden is like, I often refer to him as a golden retriever. He's such a nice guy, and he's such a give people second chances kind of guy. Well, he does not like Michael Cohen. My energy, the way I'm reading it, he is not a fan of Michael Cohen. So yeah, Michael Cohen did his time. Yes, he should be given another chance at whatever, maybe he should be able to vote even though he's a felon. That's cool. Biden is not, for real, they're calling him a troglodyte. Are y'all for real? Do y'all know what time it is in the morning? Are y'all for real? I'm going to have to look that up and put it on the screen. I think it means he's not a tool. He's not a, they can't give me another word. I know there's another word, a Neanderthal. You know what I mean? He's for expansion. He's for people learning from their mistakes and having second chances. However, he personally does not like Michael Cohen. He doesn't trust him as much as he could pick him up and throw him. He would never pardon Michael Cohen. That's what I'm getting. Maybe I'll be wrong. Troglodyte. God, for the love of God. All right, I don't know who this spirit guide is, but they're going to have to do a better job of helping me have my pronunciation. Okay. Now they all got me all flustered. All right, let me move on. DM, you have a couple of questions in here. I tried to put them all together because they're good questions, but I see that I have failed. So I'm going to now copy and paste them in the same place. Okay, they're good questions, but I know you guys like, and another thing. And I have another question. I know you guys do that. I see it. It's like, blah, 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 blah. I get it. My mind works like that too. I can't even say troglodyte. Okay. DM 3133 says, will there be an unexpected swing state in 2024? An unexpected swing state. Sit down, everybody. I got Rhode Island. Don't ask me. I don't know. I'm just passing it along. We'll see what happens. I'm sure there will be other swing states. Don't get upset. I got Rhode Island. Maybe it's the troglodyte guy that told me that, or girl, or whatever interdimensional being you might be. Bring me more coffee is what I would say. DM 3133 says, again, another great question. Will abortion be restored to Roe v. Wade on a national level? I think what you just mean is, will abortion be restored as I'll just tell you what they say. They are saying it will be the law of the land. The words they're saying is law of the land. I think that means Supreme Court, but I mean, the Supreme Court are the one that took it away from us. So maybe you want to rephrase law of the land. I don't know. I'm getting a bit too cheeky now. So yes, it'll be the law of the land. So the spirit guides told you it was going to be taken away. We predicted it was going to be taken away. That might have been the original reason why they came up with 1-800-SPIRIT guides, press 1 for complaints, because I was giving you guys bad information all the time, bad outcomes. It is what it is. Here we are. We don't have it. Now they're saying we're going to get it back. Go back to the original video. I think it's even called Roe v. Wade, whenever I did it. And you could see where they said it would be taken away. and it would be reinstated. So yes, it will be reinstated. I'm seeing a year from now. So that would be, it might be 24, it might be 25, because we're so close to 24 right now. We're only 23 days away or whatever it is. So a year might be January of 25. It is going to be reinstated. And I will say this, just because this has been coming to me for a long time and I haven't been able to get it out of my mouth in a video. I see doctors and nurses in the streets. That might not sound surprising to you, but it is extremely surprising to me. Doctors and nurses in the streets, protesting. They're done with this. They're done with this not being able to take care of their patients. They're done with this. They took the Hippocratic oath, and I think the nurses take the Nightingale. I don't know. They take their oath to protect and do no harm. And these insurance companies and these laws are causing them to not be able to treat their patients. And they're leaving the profession in droves. Teachers, doctors, nurses, peace out. They're gone. This is going to be a crisis in our country. We've talked about it many times. I see Biden even having to have medic from the National Guard show up and take care of people. I kid you not. We predicted this during COVID, and it happened. I predicted it again because we're going to have a shortage of healthcare professionals. And the way the hospitals are dealing with this is they're shutting down hospitals. They're taking away, okay, fine. Let's just take away the whole OB-GYN department. Since we can't figure out this law, we don't want to be arrested or sued or whatever is going to happen, because we don't know, because we're living in a completely totalitarian state right now. We're just going to take out the OB-GYN department. That's the way hospitals are dealing with it. We'll just shut that hospital down. We'll take out this department. This isn't going to work, you guys. People and nurses and doctors, and I hope teachers join in. Everybody's going to be in the streets in 2024. This is what's going to bring about change. This is what's going to bring about reinstatement of a woman's right to choose. This is what's going to bring about cooler heads, better understanding. The people's will has been supplanted, the guides are saying, supplanted in boardrooms, supplanted in the House and the Senate of our states, supplanted in the school board meetings. The will of the people have been supplanted. So the people will be in the streets. It will come to a town near you. So yes, it's going to be, and this is one of the ways it's going to be effectively changed, is the will of the people getting in the streets. Linda Walker says, will the U.S. ever overturn the law that allows a president to pardon criminals that were involved in crimes on behalf of or connected to the president? That was a really amazing sentence, and it had a lot of words in it. Will the U.S. ever overturn the law that allows a president to pardon criminals? Okay, that were reading comprehension for fourth graders. Okay, that were or are involved in crimes on behalf of or connected to the president. Are you an attorney, Linda, by chance? I just wanted to ask that question for some reason. Why can't I read this question? Okay, so yes, you asked 5 questions in one question. It's a 5 for 1. Will the U.S. overturn the law? See, the spirit guides, when you ask more than one question, it's like their computer overheats. Red line, can't answer. Danger, Will Robinson. I'm going to say this. The pardoning process will be scrutinized, and some changes will be made that will affect how presidents can give pardons in the future. The pardoning process will be limited. Perhaps even pocket pardons will be removed. This process will be voted on in Congress. Such changes will be made to the document. I think it's the Constitution, the amendment. I don't know where. I think it must be, we need to have an amendment. You're talking about going back to the Constitution. You're talking about some big changes here. I think there will be guardrails. Let me leave it at that. All right. You also have a question about you want to see if legislation will be passed that outlaws presidential immunity. Yes, absolutely. Presidents aren't immune. The guides want to say they're not immune. What are they immune to? I'm not sure what they're immune to, but the guides are saying presidents will face greater scrutiny in their, not immunity. They don't like the word immunity, in their Protection. Presidents will have greater scrutiny in what they are protected from. Presidents will be treated more like citizens, regular citizens going forward, but I'm seeing this in 2028. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Britches and Stitches says, will Supreme Court take up the two January 6 people's cases? And if yes, does this help Trump? No, it doesn't help Trump. I got a no on the second half of your question. I'm getting a yes and a no. So it could, and a no and a yes. So I'm getting either no, they don't take the case up at all, or if they do take the case up, it doesn't help him. Okay, does that make sense? I'm going to move on. Doug Noble and Diana Corona both have the same question. Doug says, is somebody, the government, in the process of constructing a special place to put Trump away right now? And Diana says, I was wondering if you can check with your guides. The only max detention facility in Colorado, will any of those people on trial for insurrection be sent there? I don't see any of the people on trial being sent to the max detention facility in Colorado. And what's interesting is when I just asked that question, do you know what they just showed me? Apropos of, I did not ask this, I don't think. They showed me Chauvin, the police officer. I'm connected to spirits, so they have to tell me what I'm talking about. I think that was the guy was convicted of killing George Floyd, and he just got stabbed in prison multiple times. They just showed me some of these people who went to prison for the insurrectionist getting roughed up in prison. They're going to get roughed up. I don't understand prison. It's like a whole ecosystem. It's like if you're a child molester, you're going to get beat up. You're going to get taken care of. If you're, a bank robber, maybe you're a celebrity. I don't know. But anyway, so apparently if you attack the United States of America, you're going to get beat up. I don't know. This is what they're telling me. This was the vision that came to me while I was talking to you. But the max detention security in Colorado answers Doug's question. I feel like they're going to send him to the max security in Colorado. They could send him somewhere else because they don't need anybody to know where he is, because he is a high value target, cannot be accessible to anybody. So they may take him completely somewhere else. And if you don't think that the United States government, i.e. the CIA, has special holding places that nobody knows about, that are impenetrable, that might be underground, then you'll be surprised. Then you would be surprised. How about that? Because surprise, they do. Okay, I'm going to end this video right here. I've talked a lot this morning. There will be part 2. I may or may not be wearing the same clothes. Don't judge me. I'm going to do this in a marathon of a video, but I'm going to break it up into bite-sized pieces for you guys so they're not an hour long. This one probably is an hour long because we talked about news and Trump getting anyway, this has been a hell of a video. It surely has been a heck of a video. There's some really cool stuff that I'm going to be talking about next. I'm going to be talking about Nikki Haley. Does she have a shot at being president? Is she really going to be the Republican nominee? I'm going to be talking about Kevin McCarthy. I'm going to be talking about Ukraine, on and on and on. Please stay tuned for part 2. Again, probably be wearing the same shirt. Don't know. I might get a cup of coffee and change my shirt and come back. You never know what really is happening behind the scenes over here in Susan Lynn's studio. Take really good care of yourselves. If you've watched this long and not subscribed, well, I don't know what you're waiting for. Go ahead and do it. And I'll see you really soon right here. Take really good care, everybody. For entertainment purposes only.